Yo, yo, yo.
How are you?
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you pretty well. Better than in the kitchen.
Really?
Yeah, we've had some feedback. I will read you this message.
Brilliant.
Uh, Stand by. I've got to find it. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh Christ! Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Right. Been listening to a few episodes lately, and here comes a tip for better sound. It sounds like Wes is sitting in a small bathroom or a big jar.
That's pretty much where
Yeah, in your big jar.
I am.
That's from our good friend Martin at Vistopia in
Ah,
Sweden, who by the time this episode comes out, we will have seen at Vegan Campout.
yeah.
Woo! So exciting.
I'm going to be on Hug Alert that weekend.
You're going to be on what?
Hug Alert. Just going to
Hug
be
alert.
hugging everything.
Oh, hug alert.
What do you
I
think?
thought you said I thought you said Ugg alert, like
Oh,
those horrendous boots that people wear.
oh, no. Hug. Hug Alert. No, hug.
That that
Hugging.
doesn't help.
Just one of them free hugs here, teacher. That'd be amazing.
Oh, I should have ordered you one of them, shouldn't I?
Should have done that.
Free How I Vegan podcast hugs here.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
No? Anyone that sees a tall, bearded skinhead that looks,
Yeah, vegan camp out, that's
yeah, it's not going to happen,
they're
is it?
you're ten a penny, mate.
I know, but you know, who knows? You just hug people because it's good for everybody. Anyway,
Yes.
so yeah, I mean, if we need better sound equipment, if anybody wants to sponsor us, then that would be great because I ain't buying anything because I don't want
Yeah, if any potential sponsors are listening, then yeah, get your wallet out.
to.
That'd be great.
And the votes for the British Podcast Awards are apparently
Yes. Listener's choice.
listener's choice.
Yeah,
I mean,
listener's choice. Come on.
if you're in Iceland and you're into health and well-being podcasts, then we're about 180 lives or something.
Yeah, 188th most popular health and fitness podcast in Iceland last week. So, I think we're on the up, I think is how it goes. Who'd
Yeah,
have thought there were that many people listening to podcasts in Iceland, in health and fitness
yeah.
podcasts in Iceland? That's incredible.
I mean, you've got to dream big, or just dream to get 180th in Iceland. That's fine.
Yep,
It's all good.
we'll include it on our world tour.
Yes,
Yeah,
of which is happening imminently, isn't
yeah, it's soon to be announced. Yeah,
it?
as soon as someone pays for it and we can book the time off work and our wives don't mind us going on a world tour, be
Yeah,
fine.
be all right, won't it?
Apart from all those things, it's imminent.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I could do some of my job while touring.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can
Well, like
but I'm in Venezuela.
I thought you meant like while you're on stage at Wembley Stadium, in like the full Freddie Mercury pose and typing away on a laptop.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe not.
Anyway, this is the first one of these we've recorded for a little while, and I've been saving this for a couple of weeks. I saw a quote, and I'm sure I've seen it before, but I was just reminded of it. And it's an old Greek proverb that says, "A society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they shall never sit." And I thought, that's what we need now is, you know, people who have got influence and wealth and the ability to make those massive changes that will benefit our grandchildren and great grandchildren because they're the ones who can. We're all doing our bit by being vegan, all
Hmm.
the other eco stuff that we might do. But really, there's I think I read the other day, there's something like 2,600 people who control 50% of the world's wealth.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't matter how socialist or capitalist you are, which side you fall on. That's not right, is it?
No, not at all. No, so,
2,500 people. That's like a village. So one village worth of people own half the wealth of the entire planet.
Yeah.
How can that be fair?
Yeah, I saw something the other day that the global economy is 300 billion US dollars in debt. To who?
What?
To who?
Yeah.
Who's it in
Proof
debt
that
to?
aliens exist.
I might have got that figure wrong. Anyone that's listening that knows the exact figure, sorry about that. But even if it was a tenner, who's it in debt to?
Who do we owe?
Well,
Surely if we just owe each other, we'll just write it off
yeah,
and give
absolutely.
it to the homeless or something.
Yeah, why not?
$300 billion.
Yeah,
or pounds.
like I said, the figure might be wrong, but even so,
But still,
the people that are in charge are only in it for themselves. We know this. It's all over social media. And it's about time we did what the Greeks did and
the
stampede.
Greeks do. I might have to edit that bit out. I might fall foul of
Yeah, I know you can
some
edit.
of my some of my.
That's where
If we're, I don't think we set this up to encourage a revolution, a global revolution. If that's what it happens, then so be it.
But that's where democracy comes from, isn't it? Democracy.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
And they stormed the thing that I can't remember the name of, the Acropolis.
Yep. Well, was there a new Banksy this week, or I've seen an image of a Banksy this week, and it says the richest people in the world are the ones killing the planet, and they all have names and addresses.
Yeah. Let's not get too political, or we just won't have a podcast because you'll edit it all out.
Yeah. It'll be 5 minutes long. So our guest is Saving Nemo, who Lou and I went to the launch of their new tartare sauce at the Ark in Northampton, which was great. And I've got a jar for you. And we're going to do a competition, our first ever competition.
No way.
So when this episode comes out, it will be follow us. You know, the old Instagram competitions. Follow us, follow Saving Nemo, share the post, tag people.
Yeah.
And then we'll pick a winner and send them a jar.
What if our first listener in Chile wins?
I'm going to be UK only. I'm not paying the shipping for a jar of tartare sauce to Chile.
Yeah.
That would be too much.
Wow. I think I was just looking at their social media. I think they're in Leeds this weekend.
Oh, wow. Well, if you can, then.
Well, if I can, that'd be great. But I'm also really busy this weekend. So, I mean, admittedly, I don't work weekends anymore. Woohoo!
Woo!
But, I am busy doing my other job randomly that I don't normally do weekends, but I'm literally busy Saturday and Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon. So,
yeah,
getting to Leeds might be a bit tricky.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, they're all over the place, so they'll be somewhere nearby soon enough.
Are they going to any major vegan festivals in the Oxford area?
I don't think they are. I can't.
No.
I don't think they're on the list.
Okay.
So I'm going to say no. So that's a bit of a rambling intro, but shall we just say
rambling's great.
Or we've got to stop saying if you want to come on, because we've got a list that goes into next year now.
Ooh.
So just basically, what is it? Like, rate, subscribe, ring your bell, and review, rate, subscribe, tell your friends, put an article in the newspaper.
Yeah, why not? Send a telegram. Send a pigeon.
No.
Oh.
Is that vegan?
I don't know.
Carrier pigeons?
I mean,
I'm going to say no.
Probably not.
Because don't they get cooped up in a little thing, don't they?
Yeah, so let's not do that. Don't send a pigeon.
Send a virtual pigeon. Cuddle a pigeon and send a virtual pigeon. Send us a virtual pigeon by email to howiveganpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, or just look for us on all the social medias and send us a message there. Have a chat. Join the tribe on Facebook.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been a while since we did this. This is going to be good.
So our guest in this episode is we're very excited because certainly for me, I'm a big fan of the tofu fish and chips that they produce at various vegan markets up and down the land. So our guest is Jess from Saving Nemo, the vegan fish and chip vendor. Would that be right? Fish and chip vendor? Food truck?
Caterer.
Caterer, that's more
Yeah.
accurate. Sorry. I'll edit that in and make it sound like I said it right the first time now. Welcome, Jess. Thanks for joining us. We really do appreciate it. So yeah, we met recently at the Ark in Northampton when you launched your new vegan tartar sauce, which was a fantastic evening out. So we were very grateful for that. Going to send a jar of it up to Wes to keep him happy. Otherwise, he moans if he gets left out of our fancy stuff.
You get to do all the good stuff.
Well, it serves you right for living so far up north. Although not as far up north as Jess, actually. You live up in, is it Cleveland, somewhere like that?
No, I'm up near in County Durham.
County Durham, okay. That's a long way up. Okay. All right. Tell us about Saving Nemo then. How did that come about? What's the backstory?
So Saving Nemo started just over 2 years ago now. I was working in a semiconductor firm. So I do actually have like a master's and things like that. But I was being like, I just didn't feel challenged enough anymore, wasn't enjoying it. It wasn't so much because it was like a lockdown business and always something to do because I was still working 6 days a week. At that point, it was gotta do it for the overtime and the money. So I just started looking at other things that we enjoyed. I actually asked people of Northamptonshire, because that's where we lived at the time, what they wanted to see. And a lot of people said like an alternative to fish and chips. So hence Saving Nemo was born. My husband always takes the credit of, I thought of that name. And that's he claims that's the only thing he contributes apart from serving people. But yeah, so back then we managed to find a van. It was like $2,500. Went and bought it from some people in Peterborough. We didn't realize how bad it was till we got in it, so we had to completely gut it out.
Oh, no.
We redid it all, got all the bits in, and then that's it. And then that's it. We've just been touring the UK ever since.
Fantastic. And from looking on your Instagram and Facebook profiles, you literally are touring the UK every weekend. You're all over everywhere. Like, was it last weekend? No, not last weekend. The one before, you were in Kettering, near me, and then Market Harborough, which is also near. But then, is it Leeds this weekend or somewhere like that?
Yeah, it's Leeds this weekend. Yeah, we're all over. I think like our first festivals on the Welsh border. I never really go Scotland way though, which is odd. I thought that's where I would be going more, but yeah, we tend to do more like Midlands and the northeast.
Sure. Are you coming anywhere near Manchester soon?
I'm trying, but it's very hard to get on. I think the closest we get is like Stafford-ish way, I think.
I mean, Leeds is relatively close, but I said to Matthew in the intro, I'm busy this weekend. I've got too much on, otherwise I would be straight over there.
Yeah, and I never really think like Leeds is close to Manchester because I used to live in Hull, so like I'm quite used to the M62.
So this the new tartar sauce, that's your first, I think I'm right in saying, is that your first product that you're going to be selling outside of vegan markets and festivals and stuff?
Yeah, it is.
What's behind that then?
People just kept asking for it, really, a lot, because obviously we sell it with our meals usually, and then it just sort of went from there. So we were actually in Bletchley, which is like Milton Keynes way, and it was the heat wave last year. So remember that 40-degree heat?
Yes.
We had 2 markets that weekend.
Wow.
It was awful.
No.
And obviously, no one wanted hot food. No one wanted to come to the market because they were enjoying the sun. Fair enough. So we started talking to our neighbour, who was Sam from Origin Kitchen, so another vegan business there as well. They do like cashew-based dips usually, but they manufacture for other people. And I just started basically asking him, "Oh, how do you do this? How do you do that?" And he went, "Well, we can do all that for you." And that was it. It was kind of a year in the making, and finally launched it.
Fantastic. I love that. So so they produce it for you, you've developed the recipe, and they jar it up and send it out, or how does it work?
At the minute, I'm picking it up and then sending it out. But yeah, they do everything else. I wouldn't know where to start if I didn't have.
Yeah, that's really cool though. So vegans supporting vegans and small businesses supporting small vegan businesses. That's really something to be celebrated. And we'll link to your profile in our social media posts for the episode so that people can find their way. One thing that I need to check is whether you're going to vegan camp out this year or not.
I am, but to eat.
That's why we're going. Fantastic. Okay.
So you are going to be there, but not as a.
No, well, I've seen they've got a few stalls left, so I was actually in the middle of like, I've half written them an email, but I don't think they'll have me there, to be honest.
Why not?
Because of no catch.
Oh, I forgot they were going. Yes, okay. Yeah. Maybe, but maybe they'll have you in mind for next year. But we'll see. Okay, that's pretty cool. So, what's your vegan story then? Pre-saving Nemo, what's the background?
Okay, so I've been vegetarian since I was 13-ish. I always blame it on my mum and my nan's cooking. It was always like chicken and something else. Like my grandma used to like have her own like vegetable patch in the garden, and we always used to eat that, and it was very rarely like meat anyway. It's kind of like two differences there. So yeah, I was vegetarian since I was 13, and then sort of 7 years ago I started dabbling a bit in veganism because it was getting more prominent on social media about like the dairy industry and things like that. So yeah, officially vegan 6 and a bit years now. Yeah, that's it. I've sort of converted my husband gradually as well, so he's been vegan about a year now as well.
Nice. Does he just eat tofu fish and chips, or is he other stuff too?
He doesn't do tofu. He's like the strangest vegan ever. Doesn't really like vegetables or tofu.
Wow. Oh, so he's literally the one then that everyone says, "What do you eat?"
Yeah, I mean, he's got a bit better. Before he met me, he'd never tried sweet corn, which I thought was like the most bizarre thing ever.
That's
wow.
Incredible.
I mean, I've tried it and I don't like it, but never tried it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. Have you put that right now though? Is he a convert? Yeah, he's converted. A sweet corn convert.
Yeah.
I love his Jack Sparrow outfit on your social media as well. That's cracking. I'll take it that's your other half.
No.
No. I'm so sorry.
That person.
I'm so sorry. Hey, Matthew, edit that out. That's
no chance. Absolutely not.
Whoever looked like Jack Sparrow really did quite well.
He did look. He looked incredibly like Jack Sparrow. That guy. That was incredible.
The really strange thing was he came in character, so I was expecting him to come and go, "Well, what do you want me to do? You know, where's this, where's that?" And he literally came in character. It was really strange.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, because he like welcomed us as we got there, and we were like, "Who's this dude? Like, never seen him dishing up chips."
Yeah, we needed an extra pair of hands, so he came in handy, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
My
Yeah.
apologies for that. I feel like a white wall.
No, my husband, you'll usually see him in the photos and he's like this.
Okay.
I have to explain that on the podcast. Looking
Yeah.
shocked, holding a piece of food, yeah.
He's the one holding the food.
Or,
Yeah.
or he's got like a massive double chin. That's how we're usually posed.
Okay.
I love that.
Did you find was there anything you found difficult when you went vegan? What was like your biggest struggles and stuff?
I think my big thing was always cheese. So that I just completely cut it out pretty much for sort of 3 months before I tried any sort of real vegan cheese.
Right.
Good
And
idea.
then went from there.
Yes, we've had a few people say that, because going from cow cheese to vegan cheese, I think would be, you're always going to say, oh, it's not as good.
Yeah.
You need to have a gap, because in general it isn't as good as it, taste wise, but obviously ethically it's a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what did your friends and family think about it then? You mentioned you managed to twist your husband's arm into it, but what about the rest, your wider family and friends?
My nan tries, like, so I
Good.
see her every Tuesday, and she cooks for me. So usually it'll be like a Asda ready meal or a pizza or something, but 9 times out of 10 she picks something up that's vegan. She doesn't fully always understand what vegan is. Like, we were in Marks and Spencer's yesterday and she was like, oh, what about that? It's got feta in it. And I'm like, no, no, it's not vegan. My mum just
Close.
thinks I eat, we'll call it rubbish, but yeah. And that, bread isn't vegan. I think so, like, just shocked that, I eat all this vegan stuff and it's mainly just fruit, veg, and bread. But yeah, my husband, he used to be like a big meat eater. Like when we first met, it was like mixed grill all the time, sort of thing. And then we used to cook like separate meals in the house. So say it'd be like a chili, I'd maybe use like veggie mince or beans or something, and he'd have normal. And then eventually went, actually, can I just eat what you're eating because it's actually nicer?
Nice.
So then he started going out and then going, actually, don't really want to eat it anymore. And then
Fantastic.
yeah, that was it. It wasn't like I forced it on him.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people that's the way forwards, because a lot of people assume, like your mum, that we just eat vegetables and basically a big salad every day. But to see up close what vegans eat on a regular basis and see the variety and how great it is, then actually you think, why am I still eating this dead thing when they're having all the fun over there? The vegans are having all the fun.
Yeah. I think becoming vegan, you kind of relearned how to cook as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it, exactly. You have to start all over again, don't you? And then yeah, that's exactly it. I like that.
Did you find that anything like changed for you, like with you changed physically, mentally, anything like that? Did you notice any changes?
I've gained more weight.
Hey, that.
About a vegan junk food I eat. No, so I have like a condition, adenomyosis it's called. So it's like a women's thing.
Okay.
So I used to get a lot of stomach pains through that, a lot. And since then it's very rare, maybe a couple of times a year since I've gone vegan.
Wow.
That's a massive impact then.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, that's good. I mean, there's a lot of sort of, I don't know if it's probably not medical evidence, but a lot of people who are examples of this. There's Kate, who's a member of my running club, who's been in the media recently, she's been promoting the fact that she went vegan and her arthritis cleared up and she doesn't have any issues with it now. And what else can you put it down to? If everything else in your life has remained the same, the only thing you've changed is your diet, then It's got to be that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know how they would prove it on a big scale. And anyway, people would just, oh, it's fake news.
But a lot of the research is like powered by animal agriculture and
That
things
as
like
well.
that as
Yeah,
well. So it's
that's
always
true.
going to be biased.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they could do the research, but would they publish it? Because oh no, that would prove that it worked.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great shout. Yes. Yeah. But we're the preachy ones. You know,
Yeah.
they're the ones who fund research that proves that they're right all along and don't publish the stuff that proves that they're not. But we're the preachy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had some strange customers like that. We had one before, and he told us that I shouldn't be vegan because people fought in the war so that I could drink milk.
They did. Of course they did.
That's what the Nazis were famously doing, wasn't it? They were stopping people drinking milk. What?
Oh,
Wow.
that was queer as folk, hey? Jesus.
That is bizarre. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, that's a good
That
one.
is incredible. I wonder what the logic is behind that. I'd love to see what article they've read that's brought that in their head. Jeez,
I don't know. No.
that is mad. Considering that the pig industry are the ones who still using gas chambers, that's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? Wowzer. Okay, right. This is a key bingo question for you. And considering one of your main dishes is tofu, this might be a very simple answer, but where do you get your protein and other nutrients?
Probably not tofu. No, I quite like tofu, but because Peter doesn't, I eat it every now and again in the house. But usually protein wise, it's like in the morning I'll have like porridge or something. Avocado very rarely on toast. I'm not like a huge fan, but I have it every now and again. We make like protein pancake smoothies. And then at the minute, because it's summer, we have a lot of like pick and mix bowls. So like today we've had harissa chickpeas, bit of hummus, bit of salad in there.
Oh yes,
Potatoes, things like that.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of our stuff. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'll eat a burger every day of the week if I wanted to. But we do try not to. We do eat a lot of beans and chickpeas.
Sure. Yeah.
Can't beat a good burger.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
One thing I should say is you don't just do fish and chips, do you? You do. There is a range of goods. It's not just tofu fish and chips. I'm only saying that because that's my favourite thing that you do.
Yeah.
But there is other stuff.
Battered sausage, prawns. Got calamari coming back on the menu now. And then we're just gonna start mixing it up. So with specials and things coming.
So I went to I want to say Chinese restaurant in York. I think it was Chinese, and it was fully vegan. Everything they did was vegan.
Orchard.
Orchard, yeah, yes, it was that. And I said to the lady, "How do they make it?" And she didn't really know. But everything there, your prawns, your whatever it was, it all tasted and had the texture of what it was supposed to. And I was really concerned of what I was actually eating because it was that good. So what do you make like your calamari and your prawns from?
So I don't. I have very good wholesalers.
Oh, nice.
That are actually vegan themselves.
Right.
So when I get the prawns, I then batter them so they can have buttermilk and then Cajun spices and then reheat them usually.
Okay.
I would love to like start creating stuff like that, but I think that's a couple of years down the line.
Okay. So what is it made of? If you don't make it, but I still
it's basically a soya and wheat protein mix.
Okay.
So it's a bit like it's essentially like a sausage kind of mixture, and then they add different spices.
Oh, like flavourings and
seaweed.
Right, fair enough.
My wife's had the prawns and she absolutely loved them. Highly recommended, Wes.
Okay, fair enough.
When you finally get to taste. Yeah.
So apart from your own stuff, which obviously we are trying to promote for you anyway. But what's your favourite vegan product at the moment? What's your go-to?
You can say your own. You can say your own tartar
say your
sauce,
own
but
Yeah,
sauce.
my
if there's
tarts
something
sauce,
else,
don't regenerate that. Uh, I wouldn't say it's like vegan specific. I'm a bit of a
That's all right.
I'm a bit of a hummus addict at the minute. I am a very stereotypical vegan with the hummus.
You can't beat hummus though, can you?
No.
It's so versatile. You can put anything with it, and it's just incredible.
I find
Yeah.
myself buying like packs of pita breads and a tub of hummus for my lunch. Just
Don't need anything else there.
No.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think because where I live, it's a very hit and miss with vegan food. So like we don't have many restaurants. Like I basically live kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
So, but I think like from the supermarket, if I was going to pick anything up, it's usually like squeaky bean stuff. I'm a big fan of them.
Yes.
They're good. Richmond sausages always.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good ones. Okay, so you may have been through this with your husband already, but what advice would you give to anyone who's thinking about going vegan?
So I've been asked this a few times, and I always say, like, keep it simple. So if you can't do it every day of the week, do it once or twice, and then just change something. So if you make a chili or a curry, try it with, vegan mince instead, or, some veg in your curry instead of meat. And then start getting more adventurous. I think people look at it, start seeing all these recipes online with these fancy ingredients that you've never heard of, and then that puts them off.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. Yeah, trying to, like you said before about you've got to relearn how to cook and everything. You don't want to try and run before you can walk. You've got to relearn everything, haven't you? So, like you say, yeah, start simple. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
I like that. I think people assume that as soon as you go vegan, everything's going to be great and you'll be some master chef who can whip up some new dish every day after work. And it's just not like that. You've just got to be easy on yourself, haven't you? And some days it's got to be a ready meal or just a vegan pizza that you chuck in the oven and, whatever you can do to get by.
Yeah. I think like a lot of people as well will use like the vegan substitutes, and then they're like, oh, it's really expensive, and that's because you're eating it 7 days a week.
Yes. Yeah, I had
That's
that
it.
comment last week. Chatting to someone, and she said, "Yeah, I couldn't do it because everything's just so expensive." And I was like, "It's not. Only if you choose it. If you choose those things that are expensive,
If you're having a Beyond Burger every day, yeah, it's going to cost you a fortune, but you don't need to have any meat substitutes. You can just make your own stuff, like chickpeas. You can make hummus, falafel, just chickpeas. Just 60p a tin at Tesco. Fantastic.
So, who's your vegan inspiration?
Don't think I really have a vegan inspiration, to be honest.
No.
There's some vegans that I like or tolerate. I'm
amazing.
Which vegans do you tolerate the most?
So, because I wouldn't like I have all respect for people that can go out and protest and things like that, but because I run a business and I'm the face of the business, I think if I did that, would people then not come to me because they think I'm going to be this, really hardcore vegan and trying to do this and do that. So I try and keep as neutral as I can. But there's people like Ramesh Ranganathan. I love like his comedy, and he's quite like, a bit vegan like me, to be honest, but like a lazy vegan. And then I think I quite like Joey. Is it Carb Strong?
Yeah.
So it. I like his videos and some of like the chats that he has with some of the people as well.
Yeah.
Joey's a good one, but he can be a bit in your face. I have to take him with a in small doses, but he is a bit of a legend, isn't he?
Yeah,
Very popular.
He's got some balls, hasn't
yeah.
he? Yeah,
Oh, I haven't seen that video.
to have some of the interactions he has quite
Oh yeah.
quite intense at times, and it's like I don't know if I can, I'll have a conversation with someone, but when he gets wound up, I'm just like couldn't do that bit. Just have to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be tricky. Okay. So you mentioned that you don't have many vegan restaurants near you. Do you have a favorite or venue or restaurant?
So they would just reel off a long list. No.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
probably like the closest vegan restaurant that we've got is The Edge. So they're based in Middlesbrough. They do a thing which is like local to the northeast called a palm. So it's a bit like a southern fried kind of chicken breast, obviously vegan. And then you put like a tomato sauce on it and cheese and things. So they're a small local business. There's also the Green Apple Cafe that's in Stokesay, that's just outside of Middlesbrough, and their menu is entirely vegan. So they do like cakes, scones, food as well. So they do a thing like called a Bombay strudel. So it's literally like curry in like phyllo pastry.
No way.
Yeah, so that's up here. And then we've got one that's probably not vegan, but it's worth a mention, which is Cafe to Cairo. They do a lot of like African dishes, but a lot of their menu is vegan, and they go out of their way to help like the vegan community.
Oh wow, that's good.
Oh, I like that. I'm sure in some cases it's purely financial because they think they'll get the business in. But I think there are some businesses who really, like you say, really do seem to go out of their way to accommodate when they don't really need to. Like there's plenty of places that put one thing on the menu, don't they? Like some fairly standard burger, and that's their vegan offering, take it or leave it. But it's really refreshing when you go somewhere and they've got actual choice on the menu. It's yeah, really good.
I was speaking to another trader recently, and he started out entirely vegan. So he's food's like Syrian, but it's a lot of like falafel, baba ganoush, hummus, things like that. And he says he started out, but he just said in the end I had to add chicken to the menu. It was either survive or not survive. I've never really been in that position, but I do completely understand if you've put a lot of money and everything into your business, I can see why you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if it's a choice between going under or carrying on, then yeah, I mean, it would be a horrible decision to have to make, but you know, it's you've got to pay the bills.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how I would be adding meat, bearing in mind that I've never cooked meat really in my life. So you'd probably be food poisoning from me, probably not.
Well, that would serve them right.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're growing quite nicely though, if you're developing new stuff and things anyway. So you should be all right, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're getting it. We're doing like our first sort of festivals where we've got to actually camp this year.
Right.
Much to Peter's distaste, he absolutely hates camping outdoors. So it's gonna be a fun 4 days, and I've got to do that
Yeah.
5 this year.
4
He'll
days.
love it. He'll love it at the end.
Wow. So aside from that, what's the future of saving Nemo then? What's the plan?
The plan. So we're focusing more on sort of private events and weddings, sort of this year, next year, as well as more festivals as well if we can. And then it's just really growing the source. So at the moment, I'm still struggling to get boxes. And it sounds stupid, but so boxes are like the hardest thing because I'm a small business. A lot of companies you'll message and be like, I need your minimum order quantity for this size box. And they're just like not interested. So I've had a few now that have sort of, so I'm starting to get my prices there, but until I've got that, I can't really go to, the local independents and be like, oh hey, I can send you some sauce, but it'll have to be one at a time in a tiny box because that's all I can send it safely in right now. It doesn't really work.
Yeah, you
but
don't want a room full of boxes, do you?
no,
That you've got to
that's what's going to end up happening because I don't have a unit or anything. It'll be in my back room.
Yeah.
But no, that's the plan. Is just so we're probably going to look at. We've got the original sauce and then a chunky sauce, and then sort of look at other sort of seafoody sauces down the line and see where it takes us.
Cool.
Nice. Look forward to seeing it on the supermarket shelves in a while. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we started asking this middle of last year, I think, after we realised there's that sadness that vegans feel living in the carnist world. So do you see any hope for the future of things getting changed more in society? Big sigh.
It's hard because where I live is very much like farming country. We're up north kind of thing, It's like I was speaking to there's if you ever go up to Northumberland, there's a little ice cream shop on Holy Island in Lindisfarne, and all of that ice cream is actually vegan.
Wow.
They basically said that trading standards didn't like the fact that they weren't shouting that it's vegan. It's like, oh, hold on a minute, shouldn't it be the other way around, considering dairy is actually an allergen? So they've now rebranded their name, so they're called the Oat Kitchen. Yeah, it's silly things like that. I think it's got to start from, the councils, the government, is that stop subsidizing giving milk to kids and having culture. And I think it's more like awareness for like the young kids as well, because I mean when I was in school you were taught this is what you eat is meat, veg, bit of carbs. It's not where does it come from. It just magically appears in the supermarket.
Yeah.
And don't forget, cows make milk.
Yeah.
That's just presented as fact. We've said this before, like it's just presented as fact. Cows make milk.
Yeah.
But never why they make milk, because they're mothers, just that they make milk. And no one ever asks what happens to the baby.
Yeah. I mean, my nan's now 85, 21. But she didn't even know. So
No.
but
No.
she's still very much stuck in her ways.
Yeah, I suppose if you've never sat there and thought about it, then yeah, why would you know? You wouldn't, would you?
Yeah.
It's it's a very
and I think from like the catering side and like supermarkets, things like that, it needs to be more of a step away now, I think, from the fake meat alternative and show how we can cook with other things, especially with the prices of everything going up. I can make a meal still for probably £2 or less, cheap curry or something with some beans and things. And if I went and got a burger, that's like £5 before I even start with everything else.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And we've had, was it Meatless Farm going into administration this week before they were bought out by VFC, and I think there's going to be a bit more of that. That's the kind of capitalist model that we live in at the minute, isn't it? But I think you're right. It's the next phase needs to be right. We've got people thinking about eating less meat and meat substitutes, and now we need to look at what else can you do, not just meat substitutes. Yeah.
It's silly things like when Flora changed the buttery to be vegan and everyone was up in arms. But then I can't believe it's not butter has done it all quietly. No one bats an eyelid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. They're vegan, is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I can't believe it's not vegan. No, I can't believe it is vegan.
The only place it got announced was in vegan Facebook groups. Like, have you heard? They've gone vegan.
But don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
We are going to have our very first podcast competition as a result of having you on. which I'm excited / apprehensive about because I'm a bit worried no one's going to enter. But what we're going to do is we're going to give away 1 jar of your new tartar sauce to one of our listeners. And all they need to do is share the Instagram post that we put out for this, follow us and follow you, and then tag a friend. And then we will send a jar to the winner, as long as they're in the UK, because I'm not paying for I'm not paying for shipping to our listener in Venezuela.
Yeah.
We love you in Venezuela, we love you in Taiwan, but you're not getting tartar sauce from us. It's too expensive.
Does it work if I enter loads?
You'll have to do what we're doing. So we're British Street Food Award finalists. That's this weekend.
How have you kept that to the end?
You didn't ask.
Which is okay. Have you been nominated for any awards?
So we don't know. So you go to the semi-finals. So we're in the North Heat, which is in Leeds, and then potentially you go to the final from that. And they have different categories like best fan. I don't know what other categories there are. Probably like sustainability and things like that. And then if you win, you can then go on to the European Heats, which is in Germany.
Oh, wow.
Very cool. So I think there may be 2, but I know for certain we're definitely the only vegan caterer at the Leeds one. There may be a second one, I'm not 100% sure.
That's massive.
11 go in there. But yeah, we have to put like a ballot box, what I'm looking for, where you have to like vote for your people's choice. So we were going to kind of put vote for us, otherwise an animal dies, but I feel like that might be too harsh.
Vote for us or the cow gets it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's tremendous.
There's nothing better than a hunk of prime Labrador steak, wonderfully marbled. And that is almost entirely dependent on how it's produced. Elwood's Organic Dog Meat has complete control of this entire journey. So I'm here at Elwood's farm to find out a little more about it.
Welcome to Elwood Farms.
Thank you very much, Elwood.
I hear you do a bit of barbecuing.
I do a little bit of barbecuing every now and then, yes. From a chef's point of view, consistency is key for everything.
It doesn't matter if it's a Rottweiler ribeye, a Pyrenees mince, or a lab sirloin.
You can always tell when the dog comes from a place where it was well reared. And every step has to be right, doesn't it? Oh, you should see these guys. So, from an Elwood's point of view, there's complete traceability.
Absolutely, unrivaled traceability, so it's fine.
Every single piece of dog meat.
Yeah, from pub to farmer's market.
Everything the dog's been fed.
Everything about it.
For each dog.
Yeah, only Marks and Spencer's and Whole Foods do this.
Where else can people order from?
From elwooddogmeat.com. That's ELWOOD dogmeat.com.
For top quality meat from dogs for people, meat that's local, sustainable, and humanely harvested, there's only Elwood's Organic Dog Meat. They seem pretty friendly, don't they? They're more responsive to me than my kids, to be honest.
So
Yeah.
it's you've got the semi-final in Leeds.
Yeah.
And then is it just the winner or is it by category or how does it work?
I think there's various categories. There's like best band, the people's choice, chef's choice, whatever else there is. So if they win, they then go to the final, which is in London. And then
Okay, gotcha.
from there it goes to the European one in Germany.
Wow. And then the world one, where'd you go for that?
Yeah. I would have liked to try to take
You haven't
all
booked your ticket.
on the plane. Jeez.
You'd have to send the truck over. That would be a right faff, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's a long way to go. Is this the first time you've been in it, or is it something you've done before?
Yeah. I saw it and I thought, oh, I'll apply, being vegan, oh, they're not gonna care, And So I always use for things like that, like a photo of the green van, even though I don't really use it anymore, just because it's so eye-catching. It's like covered in fake grass. And they shared it on Instagram and was like, "Do you think Saving Nemo deserves a place in the final?" Yeah, it went
Fantastic.
I'm on TV because of it this Friday as well.
No way. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
What TV?
Where can we find that?
So on Steph's Pat Lunch on Friday.
On Channel 4.
On Channel 4, yeah.
Wow. That
Is
is
it-
mega exciting.
At Leeds Dock, and that's where the final is. So
That's wicked.
That is mega exciting. That's great publicity, even if you don't win, isn't it? Being on the telly.
yeah, I mean,
And,
I'm not too sure
yeah.
how many vendors are going. I know we should definitely be on it, but I've been asked to cook 2 dishes. So I'm going to do tofu chips, tart sauce, and then probably the prawns and the hot sauce.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Do you find that there's like sort of a community of vegan caterers that you tend to see in various places, or are you all like in dead competition against each other and you're trying to like tip each other's tables over and stuff?
So the majority are nice. I'm not going to name any names, but there is one person that came up to me and went, "Oh, so you're the competition, are you?" After we sold out in 2 hours that day. And we weren't even doing our normal menu either. So
Fantastic.
yeah, no, the majority are really nice. You can normally just drop them a message, or you see them at an event and be like, "Oh, do you have any advice for this?" or vice versa. People will look after your stall if you need to go for a wee or something.
Sure.
Yeah, the majority are nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. One of the sort of emerging themes that we've found over the last few episodes has been the support of other vegans, and some people really struggle with it because they're in an area where they don't really know anyone. They don't know anyone else who's vegan, and you've mentioned that you haven't really got many vegan places up there and all that kind of thing, and so having that kind of community to help you and being able to ask for advice, that must be a great support for your business.
I think if I didn't do the catering, I don't think I would know any of the vegans apart from my husband.
Wow.
Yeah,
that would be hard, I think.
Yeah,
that would be hard. Like Wes and I are brothers-in-law, and our wives are vegan as well, so we've got a little quad of support. And even though we live miles and miles apart, but that's been a big support for us, hasn't it? And doing the pod and chatting to people who have we've stayed in touch with and send us messages every now and again. It's all good. We think we're gonna have a little podcast meetup at Camp Out, so I'll send you a message of when and where it is if you're going, and then we might bump into you there.
Yeah, I'm definitely going. I've roped my stepdad in to drive his caravan up there because they're only in Northampton, so Northamptonshire, so like Bisters's not that far, is it? So
No.
I've said I don't want to do any more camping this year. So
fair enough. Yeah, 4 days in Wales will be enough, I would think. And then
it's not even there. We're in Lindisfarne against like Northumberland. That's in 4 days. What else have we got? Oh God, can't remember. Hang on, I can tell you. I've kind of put it in the back of my mind till I have to. Green Gathering. I don't even know where that is. Green Gathering.
Oh, I've not heard of that one.
It's
some sort of eco.
Yeah, it's like you can only have solar panels and things like that. Just luckily I'm on gas because I wouldn't be able to cook. I'd love to find an alternative to gas, don't get me wrong, but you can't power a fryer on solar panels. It just wouldn't work.
No,
not if it was, especially not if it was raining. So it's an off-grid festival, and it doesn't say where it is.
Yeah, I mean,
I've not
my
heard of
first
it.
one I'm quite excited about because it's Community Festival by Russell Brand. So
Ooh.
it's definitely going to be interesting. So the only reason I found out about it was we did a launch party for an alcohol-free event.
Okay.
That was in Liverpool, so I do come close to Manchester.
You just chuck some toe fish and chips out of your window next time you go past on the M62. That would be great.
Yeah, but they basically stalked Russell Brand to try and get him to this event because obviously he's vegan, he's alcohol-free. And that's what he does. So they eventually got like him actually doing a video message, and then they've started working with him now. So
Yeah.
they're doing like a little party there as well. So that's the reason I found out about the festival, was just connections.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, bit of networking.
Yeah.
Love networking, it's great.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be joining in on some of the activities because they're doing like ice baths and things like that. I'm all
Ooh,
right.
no. One of our listeners is Cornish vegan Sarah. She has just bought an ice pool for her back garden, and there's no way I could do it. No way.
I'll do it.
Would you?
No.
Oh, you used to do cold showers though, didn't you?
Yeah, I haven't done them for a while. I got right into that. I would do it again. It just I can't turn the hot tap off at the minute. I'm trying. It just won't work.
Yeah, see, I'm a scuba diver and I go in the North Sea, and I've dived in Iceland as well. But like, no, I have layers on and a hood and things
Oh, yeah,
keeping
yeah.
me warm. So
You're protected. Yeah, I don't think the purpose of the ice bath is to have your wetsuit on or dry suit on.
Yeah.
That's not what they do it for, is it?
no.
Okay, cool. Ah, brilliant. Is there anything else that we need to know about you or Saving Nemo? What else is coming up? What's happening?
Oh God, let's see what's interesting. I'm finally getting a day off, getting my hair done, I'm going to a gig tonight.
Oh, who are you going to see?
They're a little band called As Sirens Fall, so I'm into like my rock music and things like that. They're from Keighley, so we got there. But then I've stupidly booked to go to Norwich the next day, so it's like a 4.5 hour drive. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
That's an early start. You must spend so much of your time up and down the motorways of the UK.
Yeah, I could pretty much drive the A1 and the M1 blindfolded.
I don't do that though. But no, I take your point. Yeah, that must be a lot of mileage. Good grief.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you do the vegan market, do you have to pay them to let you have a stall there, or is it just like a sign up and go?
Yeah, we have to pay. It's the
So
fees vary a lot, depending on where we are.
Yeah, so that must be a tough call to make when petrol's so expensive or fuel is so expensive. The product itself is expensive to buy, and you've got to pay the fee to get there, and then it might hammer it down with rain, or it might be 40 degrees like you were saying about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the weather doesn't always call it, so it's like let's take Bletchley for example. I've done it twice. The first day it was torrential rain and it was January and we had a queue all day.
Oh, no
Whereas
way.
the next time it was summer, it was 40 degrees, no one wanted fish and chips. So it's really hard to call it. So it's like that normally I have a 2 market rule. I mean, if it's awful on the first time, I won't go back again. If it's sort of all right, I'll try it the second time and then gauge it from there if it's worthwhile. That's the game. You get quite good at judging how much to take as well. Depending on where you are. Like I log all my card payments, everything is like on my phone and in the app that I use for my card reader, so I can always go back and see on the calendar. Oh, I was in catering last time, or how much did I make? And then I know roughly how much to take. It's very rare now I get it wrong. So, But yeah, it's because we use a fresh product as well. So like our chips are from literally like a farm 5 minutes down the road, so they can't be frozen because they're fresh. You know, like the tofu does come frozen, so obviously when I take it out, I then can't refreeze it again. So that is like a lot of pressure, but I think a lot of people have that issue, caterers especially.
Yeah, certainly when we were at catering a couple of weeks ago, it was a really hot day, wasn't it? Like really hot, and there were some of the products on display for, I think there was one that was like almost like a patisserie kind of stuff, and it was in the blazing hot sun, and I thought that can't be good for it. But what's your alternative?
She had hers under the counter, so she was having to make ones to display, which we're then going to have to go.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Wow.
This is the thing, like with markets, is this is my opinion. If they take me off the market, it's fine. I can find other work, right? But some of them just seem to be out for the money. Like, I understand they've got overheads, they pay for the adverts for social media, things like that. But they always think that a caterer makes more money. Whereas I've spoken to people in the past, and like I'm being charged double what someone else is, and they've made more than me.
Wow.
You can't judge it. And then like with the maps of like the site plan, sometimes you'll go down and you're like, why am I in this spot?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like with cakes and being in the sun, and then instead of being in the shade. And
yeah. That must be really tricky. One of the minefields that you've got to get through as a small business owner. Very frustrating, but
yeah, I think like now we know which markets we tend to go to and which ones we don't. Usually if they're cheaper, I'll take the risk and try them as well. But obviously now I'm doing festivals, that's then a completely different ball game again, and we've got to try it again.
Yeah, you'll have to have a 2 festival rule, won't you? As well as a
no, they're very expensive, so I think it'll be a 1 festival.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Thank you so much for coming on.
Cheers.
It's been really interesting hearing about saving Nemo, and we'll look forward to being able to send out a jar of your tartar sauce to our lucky competition winner, which sounds weird to say because we've never done a competition before. So
yeah, and obviously if they don't win, they're available on the website.
Exactly, there'll be links in the social media and on our link tree. There'll be links. Don't worry about that. Absolutely. That would be great. So yeah, thanks ever so much for joining us, and all the best for the future of Saving Nemo.
Cheers. Thank you.
No worries. Maybe I'll eventually see you in Manchester.
Yeah. I will keep an eye out, and I will come see you as soon as you're here. We'll get there.
That's it. It'll be the first one in the queue in the torrential rain.
Just stand there all day, just keep eating.
Yeah.
Why not? I have a few people that generally do that.
Oh, really?
Honestly, there's a guy in particular, not this catering one, the one before. We were the only caterer there, so it was really good. But I used to work with him, and he didn't know who I was.
Oh,
right. And he ordered from us about 6 times that day. So I mean, he can come again.
Yeah.
And he did come to the catering, 6 times.
Wow, that's incredible. Talking of work, actually, my friend Jim messaged me the other day. He's in my running club, Vegan Runners. He messaged our little running group recently and said, bear in mind, this was the week after the launch at the Arc, when I'd put posts on Instagram and Facebook with your logo right in the background. A chap at work has a daughter. She runs the Saving Nemo fish and chips van that you see at vegan fairs. We were given a free sample of tartar sauce. It was bloody lovely. Look out for her.
That'll be my dad then.
Yeah. So your dad's still spreading the word in catering.
He told me that. He was like, oh yeah, I gave it to him. He's the only vegan I know apart from you. And he was like, he knows some of the vegans though, so I'll pass it on.
Yeah.
tell him.
Shout out to Jim. He was our guest in episode 5, I want to say, about this time last year. And yeah, so yeah, that was good. So yeah, he absolutely loved it. So another happy customer. So that can only be a good thing. Yeah, he often says about he's the only vegan where he works. So one last year, I think he said they was it last year or the year before, as they were coming out of COVID, and like as a reward, the company put on a hog roast, and he was like, "What can I have?"
So one of my managers used to give out like things like Christmas and stuff like that, and he'd be like, "There you go, Jess. And I know you can't eat it, but the thought's there."
It's the thought that counts, and the thought means nothing. Wow,
You literally have
that's incredible. Oh Jesus! I mean, you can't even pretend that they've tried.
No,
They've literally thought, "I'm going to give you something that you can't have."
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for that, boss. Oh dear, what a bombshell to end on. Thanks ever so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the next vegan market that's in our area.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
cheers,
Thanks
Jess.
very
See you
much.
later. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh man, I really want fish and chip.
Yeah. Honestly, I remember the first time I had Saving Nemo. It was at the Northampton Vegan Market, and Lou and I were on our way in, and on their way out, we saw Chloe, our previous guest,
Yes.
and her daughter Mossy, and they said, "We've just had Saving Nemo. It's fantastic." And we were like, "Well, that's a good recommendation. Let's go and do it." And honestly, I had the tofu fish and chips. It was incredible. Like the batter is just like proper batter.
Oh man.
Nice bit of tofu, and then chips, and the tartar sauce. Oh,
I haven't had
you got
tartar.
to check it.
I haven't had tartar sauce since before I was vegan, so I don't even know.
No.
I wouldn't. I can't even remember what it tastes like, but it must be amazing because you've got me some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
That'll be good. I had
Yes,
a conversation with a work colleague today.
go on. Tell me
which
more.
I thought was quite a good comment. So, in my job, as we discussed before, I work in peer support. So it's all about mental health and helping dads out. And we were talking about people that don't engage with services that we struggle to work with because we don't struggle, but it's just we say a lot. You can lead a horse to water, but you obviously can't make it drink. Which I think
You can take a donkey to the ocean.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell somebody what they need to do, but are they actually going to do it or not? It's another thing.
Mhm.
And my colleague said it's a bit like with veganism. You've got to be ready.
Yes, 100%.
And he said that, and I was like, yeah, that, and I agreed with him. I said, yeah, absolutely. He said you can share all you share, and you can tell me all the things that you're going to tell me, but I'm not ready to do it. I was like, yeah, I know, because the same with me and Michelle. I was with Michelle for 15 years before I made that change, and
Yep.
and it is. I wasn't ready for that to happen. I was ready at that moment, and I guess in that trying to sow seed conversations that we have, or I just think maybe I'm hoping that time that I say something will make the difference. But if
Yes.
like I'm saying, if that person is not ready, they're not ready. You ain't,
Nope. So before I joined the job that I'm in now, I used to work with people who were drug addicts,
Yes.
and they were exactly the same.
Mm.
That you could give them all the support, guidance, help possible, but if they weren't ready to stop, they weren't going to stop. It's got to be. You can lay it all out on a plate, but it's got to be that person's decision that that's what they want to do. Because if it's not, then as soon as there's any kind of wobble, any kind of thing that goes wrong or bad, they go straight back to it.
Yeah.
And as someone who's trying to support that person and trying to encourage that person, that's a really difficult thing to accept. And that's why vegans struggle so much, I think, because we can see it and we are doing everything that we can to encourage other people to do it, and they're not doing it.
Yeah.
And so then we think we're doing something wrong.
Yeah. And
But actually it's not us, it's them.
Yeah, and it's like it's not a like I started with that. It's not a mental health thing where, or like you say, with drug addicts, alcoholism. You've got you're using that substance to mask a mental health problem, a trauma or whatever. This is just education.
Yep.
It's that thing that that we've talked about many times. That we've been educated that this is what happens, and that person's got to be ready to learn those lessons. And it's like you say, for us to try and have those conversations, I think that's where the biggest stumbling block is.
Yes, absolutely. It is. It's a real tricky situation.
Yes. So yeah, we shall keep trying. I've been getting up at 5 o'clock every morning for the past 2 weeks.
Oh, so we spoke last week and you told me this. So why don't you tell the listeners why you've been doing that? I think it's interesting.
So it's actually one of the guys that I'm supporting told me that he's been doing it. And he then sort of put it on me. He said, you should give it a go. Because I think he said he joined 5 a.m. club, he called it. So he goes to this training thing at 5:30 in the morning, so he has to get up at 5. And I just went, I struggled to get up at 6:30. And he went, I shit you not, getting up at 5 o'clock is easier than getting up at 6:30. And I was like, really? He went, yeah, just try it. So the following Monday, I set my alarm for 5 o'clock and I got out of bed with no problem at all. It was
No
really
way.
And then I'd listened to this other podcast, the Huberman Lab podcast, and he'd said on there to get into a proper sleep cycle, the best way of doing it is to get so much sunlight before 10 a.m. 1,000 lux sunlight. I don't know how you work that out, but basically, not look at the sun, look towards the sun as much as you can first thing in the morning. But he said it takes about 3 days for your body to get into that rhythm, and when you're in it, it just works. And at 9 o'clock, I start.
That's it. You're done.
Stay awake.
Wow. Okay.
Really interesting, but apart from the weekend, I was watching Glastonbury on the iPlayer. So I was like, I'm not gonna get up at 5 because that would mean only having 4 hours sleep. That's ridiculous.
No.
I had a couple of days off.
Treat yourself.
Generally, been getting up at 5, and I've been doing some HIIT training, and I've been doing some yoga every day.
Wow, that's really impressive.
I haven't done cold showers for a while. I want to.
Well, one step at a time.
I'm not sure if I'm heading to park run. I can't really do it because it doesn't work now that I could. Logistically, it doesn't work because I have to do something else at 9 o'clock. So I couldn't get there. But if my goal was to run from my house up to the lake, which back to here, that would be a good. But
yeah, a bit of hill in there as well, isn't there?
I haven't actually ran there. I haven't actually ran anywhere yet. I've been doing all my exercise in the kitchen. But it's been going well, and I'm quite chuffed that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I haven't done any exercise for 6 years. So
that's really impressive.
Yeah,
it's a good start.
Big fat fatty.
And as long as you don't do what I do and have your alarm set for 5 and then get up at 5:45 and then realise you've only got 15 minutes before you have to leave to catch your train, then like I did this morning, then you'll be fine.
Oops.
That was a bit lastminute.com.
Yeah, I bet.
But, it turned out all right in the end. Yeah, it's all good fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all good fun.
Cool. Well, I think that brings us to the end of another great episode. We are great because we're all over the world and everything. But thanks for listening, everybody. It's a pleasure that you it's a pleasure from our end that we know that someone's listening to us, which is really
Yes.
weird. I don't think I'll ever sit right with me.
True.
Thanks for listening, but you all be completely potty.
Yeah, but that's why we love you. So
Absolutely.
it's all good. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers. See you later on.
I always feel like that's the end of Blue Peter when we say that.